With all the recent breaking news about Conor Benn signing with Zuffa, leaving Eddie Hearn, and basically shaking boxing to its core. With this signing, he has positioned himself as the most lucrative asset in the Zuffa crown. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Conor Benn might be the most overhyped fighter in boxing today. Because when you strip away the PR machine and the famous surname, there's one question that suddenly feels more relevant than ever. What has Conor Benn actually proven? Now, there was a period where Conor Benn was looking like a real problem. He was blasting through opponents, showcasing his ferocity, and because of who his dad is, the comparisons were inevitable. He was marketed as the destroyer, and to be fair, he was entertaining.
I don't know hardship. The only sacrifice I could make was my family. And it's the sacrifice I chose to make, but it don't make it any easier. It don't make it any easier. Not half the fighters here would do what I do. And if they had what I had, they wouldn't graft as hard as I do. Tony can vouch for me. I'm the first to get there and the last to leave. I'm crushing numbers in the sprints. I'm crushing numbers in sparring. I won't be doing that if I wasn't hungry. They say that it's hard to get out of bed in silk pyjamas. I get out of bed in silk pyjamas in my heated Range Rover seats with a nice massage on the back, heated steering. I still train harder than all these fools.
The Samuel Vargas knockout was devastating. Vargas had previously given world-level fighters problems, taking them rounds, making fights messy. Benn flattened him in one round. The knockout made Benn a household name in the UK and blew up his name in the States. Then came the Chris Algieri and Chris Van Heerden fight, both devastating KOs. But let's be honest, Algieri was past his best and Van Heerden hadn't fought a top-level fighter in years. Both of these wins were credible, but not elite. That's been the pattern in Benn's career. The emphasis was put on careful matchmaking. To put things in context, he's never won a world title. He's never beaten an elite fighter. He's never been in with someone at the very top of the division. For someone now commanding 8-figure paydays for doing as little as Benn has, you have to hand it to him. Now, we can't talk about Conor Benn without addressing the whole egg situation, which nearly ended his career. Clomiphene was found in his system. For months, his reputation was in tatters, and to Eddie Hearn's credit, he stood by him when most wouldn't. The scandal paused Benn's momentum, and it changed the way people view him, because once there's doubt, every performance before and after gets scrutinised. Since the failed test, there's been no knockouts. That doesn't mean he can't punch, but it does raise questions. Then came the Eubank fight, a massive build-up which included an egg slap, and the fight delivered. Fun fact, I was in attendance for this fight. Benn lost the fight, Eubank outworked him and consistently landed the cleaner shots. Then came the rematch. This time, Eubank was clearly drained. The weight cut looked to have affected him as he looked some text does matter. He did beat a compromised opponent, but Benn showcased a disciplined performance, and you can only beat who's in front of you. In these two fights, what did we learn? Did Benn prove he was elite? No. Or did we just see two big names sell out a massive arena? Big fights don't automatically equal elite wins, but it does prove Benn has drawing power and could sell out big arenas when matched with the right opponent, no problem. After the fight, he was announced as the mandatory for the WBC welterweight champion. How that came around? Fuck knows, as he has not fought at 147 pounds in almost 4 years. Anyways, the welterweight division is stacked with big names. Devin Haney, Rolando Romero, Ryan Garcia and Teofimo Lopez. His next opponent will likely be one of these guys. Does Benn beat any of these guys?
Oh, hell no! Hell no!
As mentioned at the start, he signed with Zuffa, left the promoter who stood by him during the worst moments of his career, but Zuffa reportedly aren't focused on traditional world titles. So where does this leave the whole I want a WBC belt like my dad narrative? Right now, Benn is a star without a signature win. I had just finished writing this script and then we got the news Conor Benn is set to face Regis Prograis on the undercard of Tyson Fury vs Makhmudov. Now on paper, this is a serious name, a former world champion and a guy who's been in real fights at world level. But again, context matters. Prograis has taken some serious damage in recent years. He's been in hard fights. This fight will be at a catchweight of 150 pounds and Prograis' best years were at junior welterweight. So Benn's taken on a smaller fighter whose best days were years ago. And for 15 million, fair plays to him. So how good is Conor Benn? Here's the honest answer. He's exciting, he's aggressive, he's improved technically, and from what he's been through, he's mentally tough. But nothing on his resume screams elite, and that's the difference. In British boxing, we sometimes elevate fighters based on personality, drama and marketability. But boxing at the highest level is about who you beat. And until Conor Benn beats a genuine top tier welterweight, until he wins a world title, until he proves himself against someone in their prime, the hype will always be bigger than reality. Now, I want to hear from you. Is Conor Benn elite, or has he been built smartly without truly being tested? And what do you think of the Regis fight? Drop your thoughts in the comments, like and subscribe if you've enjoyed this video, it really helps the channel grow. This is Punch Fiction, signing off.